An intentional pivot demands the best version of yourself. If you're pouring energy into everyone else and your own pitcher is running bone dry, it's a problem we need to solve. Hey, I'm MB. Thank you for joining me today here in the in between. This is a quick episode where I'm laying out the blueprint for my proven project plan for intentional pivoting, starting with what is vitally important, the task or bucket number one, wellness and self-care. And yes, I map this framework in a project management system, ClickUp, because I treat pivots like a high stakes project. Now, it might sound like corporate speak, but let's face it, if you're a professional, we're probably speaking the same language anyway. Now, you might not be as intensely out of work-life balance as I have proven to be over the last decade or so, but do the math of our day. If we have 16 hours waking hours in a day, because we all get 8 hours of sleep, right? Of course we do. Well, let's just say that we do. Anyway, if you work a 10-hour workday, that work is going to consume over 62% of your waking hours. And here it is. Our dedication is honorable. It's great. It'll get you ahead. I get it. But according to Mental Health America, the average person is only spending 15 minutes a day on self-care. This equates to an anemic 1.6%, and it is simply unacceptable, especially as we go into a time when we need to be devoting the best of ourselves to this project. So let me say it again, and to myself as well. 62% for our job versus less than 2% for ourselves. Wow. We routinely put our work, we put other people, sometimes family, which is amazing, but tasks, everything gets in the way, and we're expected to give our absolute highest and best to those that we love and those in our inner circle. But the reality is we're looking at going into work with really less than one liquid ounce of strength, one liquid ounce left that we have to give to here our intentional pivot here in the in-between or getting ready for what's next. So my suggested solution here is coming over the next few minutes. If you are ready to address that imbalance, if you have one, if you're in a pivot like me, preparing for where we're going, click like, please, and subscribe below. I really honor your participation because today's vlog is exactly about that. It's about how that we flip the script. Now, if you're thinking this sounds really fluffy, okay, I get it. Maybe it doesn't apply to you. However, the Harvard Business Review in a survey of top leaders said that not one, as in 0% of leaders actually will say that they have a committed to wellness regimen, period. So, as a highly visible leader myself, I can tell you I've been part of that 0%, hands down. And to be transparent, I struggle with it still a lot. That running dry feeling, it's all too familiar to me. So the turning point came, about 10 years ago. I was in a completely different pivot. I chose to leave a presidential role because my intuition told me that the owner was going to sell the company, which he did end up doing. And I realized that I was overextending myself in a company that was not going to be around for long. So I resigned. I love the people. I love the company. I love them still. But because of my high visibility, the company wisely asked me to hold off on accepting a new job for a while, to stay off of social media for a time, and give the sales force an opportunity to adjust to my departure. Well, that triggered a 6-month in between for me. And it was during that time when I first made a conscious decision to address my personal wellness imbalance and design a better way to fill my pitcher. I use that critical time to establish this legitimate framework that I'm about to share with you. Now, I'm going to be very transparent as far as me getting it right 100% of the time, far from it. But we don't have to be perfect. We just have to be great, right? So I invite you to consider if there's some habits that maybe you need to break, if maybe this is an area where you could use some work and you want to defy becoming another statistic on this one, drop a comment down below. Would love to be thinking about you and lifting you up. And let's use our in-between as the perfect arena to make a real difference in our lives. So to get started, let's take a look at the first strategy from my intentional pivot bucket number one. And so bucket number one is inside of the health and wellness bucket. And in there, I have 8 specific subtasks. Each bucket is really a subtask. And I'm going to hit on them really, really quick. And again, to be transparent, this is my personal methodology. It is not a fail-safe mandate for success, because you probably have a number of your own routines that work beautifully for you, and keep up the great work. That's awesome. Think about these 8 subtasks as suggestions that you can customize. And I hope they add value. I'm going to, again, move very, very quickly today because this is what I'm currently working on. Number 1, subtask, daily devotional. And this one, taking time for spiritual alignment, whatever your belief system may be, it triggers a profound psychological safety mechanism. And I'm a big fan of Joyce Meyer's, her daily devotions from the Psalms. I've done them 3 years in a row now, just kind of repeat every January. But they keep me grounded in gratitude. And the fact is, a study from positive psychology research shows that individuals who maintain a regular practice of expressing gratitude and devotion to God or a higher power, they score significantly higher on stress tolerance. And really, when is that more important than when you're right now in the in-between and you're facing uncertainty? This is a stressful time, especially if you've been in the in-between, for a prolonged period. So again, if it lasts a while, think about that. My anchor number 2, again, subtask, is yoga. And yoga isn't about just flexibility and strength to me. It's really a foundational practice, and it keeps me at least grounded. I do yoga with Adrienne. I've followed her for years on YouTube. And I do it immediately after my morning devotional. Why? Because it physically connects me with the message that just convicted me. And so that's something that we want to be really taking a look at, because again, we want to be producing the good hormones that come out of yoga or a number of other fitness regimens that you might be, doing in your own life right now. Anchor number 3, and I really want to spend a minute here, because this to me was the most important, because it was a new one that I just really tried. I've played with it for years, but it has been a game changer over this last month. And I just wish that I had started years ago, because it's really helped connect me with the emotions, that I'm going through right now, with the thoughts, with the opportunities that I'm thinking about, and really just being human by getting in touch with my feelings and my memories, and driving those responses. And I will just say at this point, sharing my feelings, it does not come naturally to me, like at all, for a number of reasons. As a matter of fact, creating this vlog, it was super uncomfortable. It was a marketing executive, someone close to me, who said, "Meredith, you're going to be going into a transition. You should totally do a vlog." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what? Share my feelings, like publicly? What?" But she said, "Absolutely, because it might add value to somebody else who's in a transition." Well, of course, those are magic words to me, because since childhood, adding value to other people by bringing joy is a core driver for me. It's a big why. And so, we know that psychological well-being that comes from journaling is actually very, very powerful. And there was one study that I read that said that it could help your mental focus for up to 12 months by regularly journaling. Pretty impressive. Number 4 that I'm working on right now is diet, that no snacking. A couple of years ago, I went through a pretty significant transformation and lost considerable weight on the keto diet and the wellness products that I was endorsing at the time. And I experienced this transformation, and I just need to keep it going. But as you know, if you're in an in-between, it's a sedentary life. I mean, you're not rushing off to catch a plane or run to meetings or going up on stage, all of the things that I did with over 50% travel, over the last number of years, right? I'm sitting a lot. And so, thinking about that right now, and I don't want my physical progress that I've made and worked so hard to go backwards. So just make sure that you're really setting something up. It's so easy, to be snacking and just sort of, kind of letting things go a little bit. But my anchor number 5, that subtask, is fitness. And this is what I've really learned, is just keep moving. I have a QB under my desk. It's an under desk elliptical for pedaling. Just keep going. I have a standard elliptical down the hall for 15-minute power breaks. I go for power walks with my husband. I mean, do everything that you can. My personal goal is hitting a combined minimum of an hour, 60 minutes a day. it's probably not enough. I'm sure it's not, but it's a smart goal, and I know I can achieve it, and I am. So, that blood flow, that oxygenated blood flow that happens that goes straight to your brain from exercising, it really, really helps. And especially again, when you're in a stressful time and a need to focus, it will really help you with your mental focus. Then I have anchor number 6, which is my sixth bucket out of the 8, which is nature and outdoor gardening. Because going outside in the natural light at least 15, 20 minutes a day, preferably with your shoes off and go stand on the earth and ground a little bit, it is immediate therapy, immediate, because the gift of creation, the beauty and sheer majesty of it, it is absolutely a gift that just keeps on giving, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, which I'm partial to. It's positively magical. So I really encourage you to give yourself a little time to fill up your pitcher with nature, because I know that not being in the Pacific Northwest, I really missed this over the last few years. So it's no surprise that just that 20 to 30 minutes of sitting outside, of walking, of being in nature can really drop your cortisol levels. And so it's another thing to think about. Anchor number 7, sleep. All right, at this point, I'm just going to break eye contact. I'm going to fidget a little bit because honestly, it's my biggest challenge. It always has been by far. My mind races. I'm always thinking, creating, and it's so hard to shut down or to stay shut down. And I've tried to convince myself over the years that 4 hours of sleep, 5 sometimes, is enough. It's not. It doesn't match the science. And so I'm really trying right now during this pivot to get more like 6 to 7 hours. It is a work in progress for me. And if you have any tested sleep hacks that have worked for you, I'd love you to drop them in the chat down below in the comments, and I'll pick them up. Because we know that sleep deprivation, how many studies about the unwanted impacts, it's a myriad of them. And so I'm just not going to drill into them, but and I know, and I'm working on it. Again, not making eye contact at this specific moment. And then finally, anchor number 8, which is the give back anchor. And so within that subtask, I list all of the things that I'm doing on a daily basis to give back, because adding value to other human beings by adding and bringing joy, it can be done in so many diverse ways in your life. And whether it's giving to charities or simple kindness to another human being, recognizing that they matter, that they are significant. Or if you can still provide financial support to your church or your favorite organization, there is such immense power in it. Even if you're navigating a transition and you have a temporary financial setback right now, giving time and kindness doesn't cost anything, but it holds astronomical value. So don't miss this task. It connects us to humanity in a way that nothing else can. And I'm going to close for this story. I've done a lot of work outside out in the front yard. A neighbor came over that I haven't spoken to probably 2 times in 3 years when he moved in, because I haven't been in town, not to be rude. But he came over and he wanted to tell me that, everything looked really nice. And he said, and I just want to say thank you, because when you invest your time and efforts into the front yard, you are giving a gift to your neighbors. And I just wanted to thank you. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. I was on cloud 9 for about a day after he said it. So, we know that there's lots of brain studies done on neuroscience, published about what happens when you give to other people and contribute. And we know that it can actually increase your survival, your life expectancy by a significant amount. And I won't quote it, so I'm not uncompliant. But my friends, as I wrap up for today, just encourage you to use the in-between to move towards your true purpose by honoring your wellness framework that will give you the power to get where you want to go. I know I am. If this message resonated with you at all, please take a moment and click like button down below. Subscribe so we can journey together for a bit. And remember, the truest thing about you is what God says about you. You are beautifully and wonderfully created. Until next time, do everything with love.